Halloween, the one time of the year where you can be anyone you want. However, sometimes there are stipulations. Stipulation A. You can be whoever you want as long as you're either the best of who you are or the only one of who you are. So if you go to a Halloween party and you're in the cheapo Batman costume and someone splurged for the really nice Batman costume, you're looked down upon. Now if you're the only Batman costume there, no one would really look down to you or at you, look down at you. They would just say, oh, alright, we have one Batman. But then you become that Batman. Like, oh yeah, we have Batman here. And then that Batman. Stipulation 2 is you can be whoever you want as long as it coincides with your partner's costume. That's why this year my costume has to match Wonder Woman. Now, couple costumes can be cute. They can be real easy, yet real corny if you go to the costume store and pick it off a rack. I'm not the pick it off the rack type of guy. With most things I am. Pants, shirt, shoes, off the rack. I know my pants size, I know my shoe size. I can gamble on the shirt size. But costumes are never off the rack. I pride myself in making my own costumes. Last year I went as a Guitar Hero. I took a G and an H off of a Guitar Hero symbol, Guitar Hero like advertisement online, put it on what looks like the Superman triangle that he wears on his chest, made it all black and white, and ironed it onto a t-shirt. And then I took a towel and 2 twist ties and made a cape out of the towel. And I bought a Paper Jams cheapo guitar that actually plays, not like a guitar with strings, but it's, you know, an electronic device. And I was a guitar hero, which is really cool, in my opinion, and people liked it. And a few years ago, I was an iPod. Now, how do you be an iPod? Well, it's really cheap. Again, I made it myself. Went to Home Depot. Now, if you make costumes from Home Depot, they can be really cool, or they can be really crappy, and this was one of the crappy ones. So I took a wooden board that you'd find for like a shelving unit, but just wood, really heavy. And I took a bucket lid and a nail. And I put the bucket lid in the middle, well, on the bottom in the middle, nailed it in, and then made what looked like a iPod screen on like a printer and taped it to the top, or glued it. And then I took a piece of wire and put it around my neck, and it hung from my body. It was really heavy, but another one of the costumes that I made. So back to the costume that I need to make this year. Couple costume. I first suggested Han Solo and Princess Leia because it's pretty recognizable and pretty fun. Who doesn't want to be Han Solo? Unfortunately, Princess Leia, there are only a few costumes that look good for Princess Leia. The white dress or the slave outfit from the cantina. Yeah. Neither of those worked for my girlfriend. So we kicked around some other ideas. She said, how about Lois Lane and Clark Kent? To which I said, not a bad idea, but she didn't think it was creative enough for herself. She didn't think it was much of a costume for her to wear her work attire, which would be like a dress, and a pair of glasses. And one of the reasons she suggested Lois Lane and Clark Kent is because one day I looked at her and I said, wow, you look like Lois Lane in those eyeglasses. And I said, you have the personality to match, because Lois Lane's a little sour, a little bit of a jerk. My girlfriend didn't find that funny. So then we kicked around Spider-Man and Mary Jane. And then my girlfriend said, "Oh, what about Black Cat?" And at that point I knew my girlfriend doesn't know comic books. She was definitely online looking at these things. And Black Cat's not a bad idea, but at a certain point, you're like, "Oh, who are you, Catwoman? Or who are you, just a cat?" Black Cat has a pretty generic black costume. Pretty sure she had a white tail and white ears. It's not too recognizable. Neither was the costume that I chose. So I have to match Wonder Woman. To which I was told, "Oh yeah, you could be Spider-Man and I'll be Wonder Woman. Or you could be whoever you want and I'll be Wonder Woman." And I said, "I can't be whoever I want and you be Wonder Woman. I can't be Spider-Man and you be Wonder Woman. I can't even be Superman and you be Wonder Woman." Well, I could be Superman, but I couldn't be Clark Kent. Obviously, I can't be Spider-Man because he's a Marvel while Wonder Woman's a DC. And Clark Kent and Lois Lane, they go together. But Clark Kent and Wonder Woman, no, not so much. But Wonder Woman and Superman, yeah, they're part of the Justice League. While Clark Kent and Lois Lane both work for the Daily Planet, they have a relationship. But Clark Kent to Wonder Woman is nobody. He doesn't mean anything. She doesn't hang out with Clark Kent. Clark Kent's a loser to her. That's why it's got to be Superman. I'm not being Superman. So going through the whole the whole DC catalog, came up with Green Arrow. Green Arrow has had some different iterations. The one that I'm going to try to mimic or copy is the one with the hooded costume. In like the last few seasons of Smallville, there was a Green Arrow. And people say, "Green Arrow, or do you mean Green Lantern?" I don't mean Green Lantern. Green Lantern got a bad rap this year with the movie that came out. I think if you stick to like the animated movies, you might enjoy them more than the live action movie that came out. To get a good idea about the Green Lantern costume, I watched the Superman Shazam animated movie. There were short movies after it, the Green Arrow being one of them. There was also like Jonah Hex. So I'm going to get all my materials ready, and then I'll show you my materials and where I got them from. Stay tuned.